Vampires, they are creatures of the night. We know them from stories. They are said to live in darkness. Vampires are said to drink blood to survive. But are they real? Many people have asked this question. The answer is complex. It's a mix of history, folklore, and imagination. Let's explore the world of vampires. We will see where the stories came from, and we will find out why people are still fascinated by them today. Vampire-like creatures appear in many cultures. Ancient stories from around the world talk about them. In these ancient tales, the creatures were often scary. They were blamed for illness and death, but they were not quite the vampires we know today. The modern vampire, the one we picture in our minds, comes mostly from Europe. Stories about these creatures spread throughout the continent. They became a part of folklore. Over time, the vampire story changed. What began as a terrifying figure in folklore, a creature of the night that haunted the dreams of many, slowly evolved into something much more complex and multifaceted. What started as scary folklore became something else. These stories, passed down through generations, were initially meant to instill fear and caution. They were tales of bloodthirsty beings lurking in the shadows, waiting to prey on the unsuspecting. Writers began to use vampires in their books. They saw the potential to explore deeper themes through these enigmatic creatures. The vampire became a symbol representing various aspects of the human condition, from the fear of death to the allure of immortality. One of the most famous vampire novels is Dracula. Published in 1897, it captured the imagination of readers worldwide. The novel's chilling atmosphere and compelling characters set a new standard for vampire fiction. This book, written by Bram Stoker, changed how we see vampires. Stoker's Dracula was not just a mindless monster, but a cunning and sophisticated antagonist. His portrayal added layers of complexity to the vampire mythos. Dracula was powerful and intelligent. He was a master of manipulation, able to blend into society while hiding his true nature. This duality made him a fascinating character, one that readers could both fear and admire. He wasn't just a monster. Dracula's intelligence and charisma set him apart from the traditional depictions of vampires. He was a tragic figure, cursed with eternal life and an insatiable thirst for blood. Since Dracula, vampires have appeared in countless books, movies, and TV shows. Each new portrayal added something unique to the vampire lore, reflecting the changing attitudes and fears of society. They are no longer just creatures of horror. Modern interpretations have reimagined vampires as complex beings, capable of love, redemption, and even heroism. They have become a versatile symbol in popular culture. Sometimes they are even heroes. In contemporary stories, vampires often struggle with their dark nature, seeking to protect humanity rather than destroy it. This evolution reflects our own changing perceptions of good and evil. Science tells us that vampires, as we imagine them, are simply not real. There's no proof that humans can survive solely by drinking blood. Humans need more than just blood to live healthily. We need vitamins, minerals, and other essential nutrients. Drinking blood would make us very, very sick. So, while the vampire myth is interesting, it doesn't hold up to scientific scrutiny. Many cultures have stories about creatures that drink blood. These stories are often linked to real animals. Bats, for example, are often associated with vampires. Some bats do drink blood, but they are not dangerous to humans. They are small and only feed on animals. The vampire myth likely came from a lack of scientific understanding. In the past, people didn't understand what caused diseases. They looked for explanations in the world around them. When people didn't understand something, they often created stories. These stories were a way to make sense of the world around them, to explain the unexplainable, and to bring some form of comfort in the face of the unknown. In ancient times, storytelling was a communal activity, a way to share knowledge and pass down traditions. This is how myths were born. Myths served as a bridge between the known and the unknown, providing explanations for natural phenomena, human behavior, and the mysteries of life and death. They were recorded in scrolls, manuscripts, and books, becoming an integral part of our cultural heritage. The vampire myth might have helped people explain things they didn't understand. In old European villages where superstition was rampant and scientific knowledge was limited, The idea of vampires provided a convenient explanation for a variety of mysterious occurrences. The dark, eerie forests surrounding these villages only added to the fear and mystique. For example, some diseases make people very pale. Conditions like tuberculosis or anemia could drain the color from a person's face, making them appear ghostly and otherworldly. In a time before modern medicine, such symptoms were terrifying and inexplicable. They might have seemed like they were losing blood. The sight of a loved one wasting away, growing weaker and paler by the day, could easily lead to the belief that something or someone was draining their life force. Historical doctors, with their limited understanding, could do little to alleviate these fears. People didn't have the knowledge to explain this, so they blamed vampires. The fear of the unknown often led to the creation of scapegoats, and vampires, with their blood-sucking lore, fit the bill perfectly. Communities would rally together, pointing fingers and reacting with horror, trying to protect themselves from an unseen enemy. The vampire myth also deals with our fear of death and the unknown. Graveyards, with their tombstones and eerie atmosphere, symbolize the finality of death. The idea of the dead rising from their graves challenges this finality, playing on our deepest fears and uncertainties about what lies beyond. Vampires are often seen as undead creatures. They inhabit the liminal space between life and death, neither fully alive nor completely dead. This ambiguity makes them both fascinating and terrifying, as they defy the natural order and embody our anxieties about mortality. They represent something that should be dead but isn't. The image of a coffin opening, a figure emerging from the shadows, captures the essence of the vampire myth. It is a powerful symbol of our fear of the unknown, the unnatural, and the possibility that death is not the end. Even though we know vampires are not real, we are still drawn to them. Why? What makes these creatures so fascinating? Part of it is the mystery. Vampires are powerful and they live in a world we can only imagine. They represent something outside of our everyday lives. Vampires can also be seen as romantic figures. They are often portrayed as beautiful and alluring, even if they are dangerous. Vampires are everywhere in popular culture. They are in books, movies, TV shows, and even video games. Their stories have captured our imaginations for centuries. Some vampire stories are scary, while others are romantic. Some vampires are monsters, while others are heroes. There's a vampire story for everyone. The way we see vampires continues to evolve. Modern vampire stories often explore different themes, like love, loss, and what it means to be human. Vampire stories, even though they are fictional, tap into something deeper within us. They have a unique way of capturing our imagination and drawing us into a world that is both familiar and foreign. The allure of the vampire lies in its ability to straddle the line between life and death, humanity and monstrosity. This duality fascinates us, making us question our own nature and the boundaries of our existence. They make us think about life, death, and what it means to be alive. Through the lens of a vampire story, we can explore profound philosophical questions in a way that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. These tales often delve into themes of immortality, the soul, and the moral dilemmas that come with eternal life. They challenge us to consider what we would do if we were given the chance to live forever, and at what cost. Perhaps that's why the vampire myth endures. It has been a part of human culture for centuries, evolving with each generation to reflect our changing fears and desires. From ancient folklore to modern cinema, the vampire has remained a powerful symbol of the unknown and the forbidden. Its ability to adapt and remain relevant speaks to its deep-rooted connection to the human psyche. These stories, although based on superstition, offer us excitement, romance, and a way to explore the darker side of our imaginations. The gothic settings, the mysterious characters, and the thrilling plots all contribute to a sense of adventure and intrigue. They allow us to escape from the mundane aspects of everyday life and immerse ourselves in a world where anything is possible. The romance often found in vampire stories adds an extra layer of complexity, blending love and danger in a way that is irresistibly captivating. Vampires give us a way to confront our fears and desires in a safe, fictional space. By engaging with these stories, we can explore our darkest thoughts and emotions without any real-world consequences. They provide a cathartic experience, allowing us to face our anxieties and come out the other side feeling exhilarated and empowered. Discussing these tales with friends can also create a sense of community as we share our reactions and interpretations, deepening our understanding of both the story and ourselves. They allow us to explore the unknown without actually facing it. The eerie settings and suspenseful narratives give us a taste of danger and mystery, all from the comfort of our own homes. This vicarious experience satisfies our curiosity and our need for adventure, while keeping us safe from the real-world risks. In the end, the power of a good story lies in its ability to transport us to another world, challenge our perceptions, and leave us with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Vampires, those creatures of the night, continue to fascinate us. They are a product of our fears and our imagination. While science tells us vampires are not real, their stories hold a powerful sway over us. They offer excitement, romance, and a glimpse into a world beyond our own. The vampire myth is a reminder that humans are drawn to stories. We crave mystery and wonder, and perhaps, just perhaps, a little bit of darkness.